Hello, my sweet friends. A very warm welcome to my art channel, and I'm so glad you chose to stop by. Let's create a holiday note card today, wherein I would be sharing with you how to create a red poinsettia on the note card. Here is the list of supplies for today's project. So let's begin with chapter number 1, planning the background for the floral painting. I have a few elements with me. The first one being a white side folding note card, and it is around 4 inches by 5.9 inches in size. The second one is a red cardstock, which is around 3.8 by 5.7 inches in size. The third is a printed paper with a vintage look, and it is around 3.7 by 5.5 inches. The fourth element is a white watercolor piece of paper, and it is just around half the size of the printed paper. In the next step, I go ahead and place the printed paper on a paper towel. On my palette, I have two colors. First is the gold acrylic color, and the next one is the black acrylic, and I have a little sponge. Next, I lay the stencil of my choice over the printed paper, and then I go ahead and use the sponge to apply some of the gold and black acrylic on the printed paper through the stencil. But I would be doing it very sparingly. Once I'm satisfied with the gold and black acrylic, I slowly lift the stencil away, and there you go. The modified printed paper is ready for action. For the time being, I will keep it aside and go to the next chapter, that is painting the red poinsettia. At this point, I bring in my little white watercolor piece of paper, that is the fourth element, and I have already brushed it with watercolors of red and yellow hue. Here is my palette for the poinsettia painting. I have crimson red acrylic color, burnt umber, orange, yellow, and white. Here are the brushes which I am going to use for the poinsettia. I have a number 5, a liner, a filbert, number 4. Right now I have flat brush number 5 in hand, and I'm loading it with crimson, orange and yellow, and this is called triple loading of the brush. I have 3 colors on the brush, and I went on and added the fourth one, that is the burnt umber. There you go. Do you see that? So technically I have 4 colors on the same brush. Do you find it interesting? Alright. So here I have the same flat brush number 5 in hand with all the 4 colors on it, and I start creating the poinsettia. And the technique which I am going to use for creating the poinsettia is the decorative stroke technique. Here I use multiple colors on the same brush to create beautiful blends and highlights with a single stroke of the brush. And that is the magic of this beautiful technique. I try to create the first layer of the red leaves. Here I have used a bit of yellow and white on the brush to create some kind of highlight to the leaf. You see that? There's a very slight tinge of yellow, and that creates all the difference. I hope you will notice that the leaves, the red leaves, so to say, which I am trying to paint here, they are not very rigid. You need to paint them in such a way so that they have some kind of a flow to them. They shouldn't be just pointing in 5 different directions, but it should appear as if they are swaying in the soft breeze. They need to have that action in them, and that will make the poinsettia look close to real. Friends, did you know that the poinsettia has a very fascinating history? Poinsettia is indigenous to Mexico and Central America, and it is well known for its red and green foliage and is widely used during winter festive displays and holiday celebrations. The poinsettia derives its name from Joel Roberts Poinsett, who introduced the plant to the United States in the 1820s. That's so fascinating. They are actually small shrubs or trees, and they are known for their colorful bracts, which we call as leaves. Now, the brilliant color of poinsettia are considered to be symbols of purity, sacrilege, good cheer, and success. And that's interesting, isn't it? Well, once I'm done with the top layer of the petals, which are shorter than the ones underneath them, I go back to the lower petals and add some more lighter colors to them. And there you go, my poinsettia is done. Next, I bring in a bit of sap green, and this is a liner brush with which I'm just making some dots at the center of the poinsettia. Next, I bring in yellow, more of yellow, and white. See how it pops. Here, once I'm happy with the center, I move on to the next chapter, that is creating the leaves and the berries. Here comes the palette. I have acrylic yellow, sap green, bamboo green, burnt umber, white, and deep green. And I have a flat brush number 5 in hand, and I'm loading it with yellow, sap green, white, and I'm blending the colors well. So this is again 3 colors on the same brush. I can go ahead and add the 4th and the 5th depending on the kind of leaves I would like to create. These are the brushes which I would be using, number 5, number 4, and a liner. This is a little plate of acrylic retarding solution. You just need a very small portion of it, and it is used to keep the acrylic colors running. At this point, I pick up my liner brush, and I have white and bamboo green on it, and I'm trying to create a stem underneath the poinsettia. That will help me to decide the placement of the green leaves. Next, I go ahead and add a bit of burnt umber to the stem. I'm not sure if it is showing up very well because it is still very light, but you will get to see it in a bit. Some side stems. I'm also adding a bit of white to the burnt umber. Back to the thicker part with more of burnt umber. and a bit of white highlights to the branch. Next come the leaves, the green leaves to be precise. So here I have a flat brush number 5 in hand, and it is loaded with sap green, yellow and a bit of deep green. I will be adding white along the way. So these are the pretty poinsettia leaves in the making. See how I create the spikes? I move the brush inwards, and that helps to create those pointy, pretty leaves. And because I'm using so many colors on the same brush, the highlights and the blends, they happen on their own. You see them? Would you like to create these pretty leaves yourselves? Then I would definitely encourage you to please visit my past floral video tutorials, and I would be very happy to drop some of the links in the description box below. And if you click on the I button on the right hand side of this particular screen, then it will lead you to some of those tutorials as well. Decorative art technique is a brilliant way of creating fascinating floral images. Alright, some more leaves here. For certain leaves, I'm having more of deep green. For other leaves, I stick to bamboo and white and a little bit of yellow. And that helps to create a lot of variations in the coloring of the leaves. Some smaller leaves here on the higher stem. And it's so fun to create those little spikes on the leaves. What do you say? You like it? Alright, so here's white and red acrylic on my palette and a liner brush, and I'm trying to create little berries around the stems and the leaves. I have added a bit of burnt umber to the red as well to make it a little more darker. Next, I bring in some acrylic white on my liner brush and I create those light spots on the berries. It already feels like winter, right friends? Alright, so once I'm done with the berries, I go on to the last chapter, that is assembling the poinsettia note card. So here are the elements: the white side folding note card, the red cardstock, the printed cardstock, the painted panel, and I have added 2 circles of red and a gold cardstock. When I put them all together, this is how it looks. I've also added a sentiment to the center of the gold circular cardstock. Friends, that's a wrap on today's project. So you need to let me know if you enjoyed watching me paint the red poinsettia on the note card. Did you have fun and did you enjoy the process? Please put down your comments below, and it would be a great pleasure to hear from you as always. Do connect with me on my social media handles, and it would be a sheer delight to be in touch with you. Immense thanks to you, my dear friends, for all your love and support, and they mean a lot to me. And yes, you have been really patient, and thank you so much for watching till the end. Here are some of my past floral painting video tutorials. You might like them too. So we'll be back very soon with more fun tutorials. Till then, take good care of yourself and bye-bye.